Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day. In this video I'll be showing you a build guide for the HEDGE MAGE Wizard subclass mod made by Havsglimt. Now this class mod is nature themed in its aspects. You can summon in a shambling mound. There's some nature themed abilities here, which we'll be breaking down all of that in this video. So first off, we'll be starting as a wizard here, and for the cantrips I would recommend grabbing. Mage Hand is always great because you can use it to throw healing potions or water bottles. Bone Chill, and I like a Firebolt. This will stop targets from receiving healing, and Firebolt's good if there's a target that needs to, if you have anything you need to explode. You can also go with like Ray of Frost or Shocking Grasp. I actually probably prefer Shocking Grasp to get away, and it's if there's an enemy with a reaction that can attack you, you can get away for free. Now I'd recommend grabbing Shield, Mage Armor, and Magic Missile for our first spells. Grease is also pretty useful as well. You can grab the Find Familiar because I think it fits thematically here as well, and the Raven's great for blinding targets, setting up your rogues for sneak attacks. And you can also grab Thunderwave for the pushback that it brings. For our ability score spread, I like to go with 16 Intelligence, and either you can swap around the Dexterity and Constitution scores. 16 Dexterity gives us more armor class, so less of a chance of getting hit, and a higher chance of us going first in combat, which is pretty important. And Constitution will give us more health, so it just depends where you prefer. I like to go with this stat spread here, and for the skill proficiencies, you can grab these following. Level 2 gives us our subclass, the HEDGE Mage. Now with this, you practice the natural magics, not unlike a druid or a ranger, but do so through rigorous study of botany and herbology. By using this knowledge, you can create masterful spells and valuable elixirs using the natural world around you. You get the passive Nature Savant here, which allows you to take proficiency in animal handling, medicine, nature, or survival. Now, anytime you get a survival check, you can always use your shovel to be able to find it. So we're going to go with the nature check there. Our spells that we'll be taking at level 2, Ice Knife can be nice if you need something with your silence. And I guess you could go Chromatic Orb for coverage. And we'll prepare the following spells as you see there. You can swap Grease around if you want for Find Familiar. Level 3 gives us access to some great spells like Spike Growth, which you can't learn from scrolls, so we're going to grab that. Spike Growth is great crowd control early on in the game. You can also get things like Bark Skin, but I would recommend for our other level 2 spell slot to go with Scorching Ray. Mirror Image is also kind of nice, and Misty Step, but we're going to go ahead with this choice here. And then for our prepared spells, we're going to add on the Scorching Ray, and you can take off the Find Familiar and use Spike Growth if you prefer. Once we get to level 7, we get the Woodland Being, which can hold this concentration on Spike Growth for us. And for our extra cantrip, I guess you could take Friends if you're the face of the party. I'm going to grab the Firebolt there. And for our spells, we will grab Misty Step and Hold Person. And then we'll prepare the, I guess we can prepare either Misty Step. I like Hold Person into a chain, or a Scorching Ray there. Now we get to take a feed. Intelligence increase here will give us the ability to prepare another spell. Although I like always grabbing Alert first, because this means that you go first in combat, and that's huge because then you can take out enemies that would go next in the initiative order. And you can't be surprised, which is pretty effective if you're playing this through an honor mode, because this class mod is well balanced. Level 5 gives us access to more spells. We get Speak with Plants, so you can commune with nearby plant life, preventing you and your allies within 9 meters from getting affected by difficult terrain caused by plants, while granting the ability to bring forth a small patch of hindering plants of your own. And you can also release creatures restrained by the Entangle spell. This is a pretty cool one, and this is added with this class. You can take this if you want, because I think it fits thematically here. We'll just add it, but you can also grab things like Plant Growth, now available in the Wizard spell list with this class mod. I think Counterspell is an invaluable spell that we need to grab. I would also like to have Lightning Bolt here, but I'm going to grab this just because it's interesting and it's different. So we'll go with that there. And I always like to have Counterspell prepared because that's such a game changer of a spell. Level 6 gives us our subclass feature, the HEDGE Mage Elixir. So your keen knowledge of herbology and arcane wit allows you to craft certain natural but distinctly magical elixirs. You can mainly create these elixirs, or you can use your natural magic to bridge the gap between herbology and alchemy. Whenever you create a first level or higher from your expanded spell list, or whenever you cast a spell, you can create elixir from your known recipes. Kind of cool. So cast a spell, get a free potion. That's a nice little trade-off. We also get the Animate Plant Vine Blight. So animate nearby vines, shaping them into a plant creature under your control that you can entangle and can struck enemies in its vine tangled arms. So this takes an Animate Plant charges. We'll get a few of these. So we'll get a few later on. Now the HEDGE Mage Elixirs here, these are what are possible to be crafted after we cast a spell. So you can get things like the Witchfire, which allows you to do 3d6 of acid damage, crafting elixir that can possibly take that. There's a Restoration, which can remove blinded, paralyzed, or poison conditions. Recovery, which will give you healing. And then there's also the Elixir of Protection, which can choose a elemental damage type to resist. I guess it's random, and this can be actually pretty effective. Elixir of the Night gives you dark vision range up to 24 meters, and add a 1d4 to a stealth check, which is actually pretty good. And it also shines a bright light. And then there's the Potion of Charm as well. So I think we'll go with these choices here. And then we'll take our Lightning Bolt, and Haste is good, or Fireball for the next spell. Even Sleet Storm fits thematically with this build. Level 7 gives us a really good choice here with the Woodland Being, as mentioned previously, and Ice Storm. These are two great spells. Gives us our Woodland Being will hold the concentration on spike growth. You can also replace any of these elixirs at any given time. And I'm going to prepare these spells here. I just think they're good to have alongside this. Level 8, this gives us another choice in spells. You can go down and take like Glyph of Warding. If you're a half elf, you can throw that at your feet. We can also grab the minor elemental there for the ice methods. They're okay for an option. And then we get to take a feat. I would recommend going with an increase to our intelligence. You can go with the dual wielder and use 2 staves. I like to go with like the Cherished Necromancy Staff and also Marka Heshker together. That gives you access to many level 6 spells. But level 9 gives us another good choice in spells. Cone of Cold, one of the best spells in the game. Conjure Elemental. And also it has, again, some of the Druid spell list there as well. But we're going to grab these two. You can get a staff like the one that I currently have equipped, which gives you a free casting of any spell. You can use that to create an elemental. And then when you have your elemental, we use the water elemental, and its main attack will apply Chilled, which will double the damage of Cone of Cold, putting that up to a potential 128 damage. Big thumbs up from me. That's a good strategy. And then we also got our Ice Methods and Ice Storm. So cold damage really thrives, obviously, on any caster, and it's no surprise it benefits from here as well. But we also get another summon at level 10. So we get our subclass feature for Sage. You can cast Speak with Plants as ritual. In addition, you add your intelligence modifier to the hit points restored and damage dealt or reduced by your elixirs. So that's pretty cool. You also get the Wood Woad here, which you can use the Enchanted Wooden Club to regenerate health while walking through its vines. And Speak with Plants as well as now you can use that anytime. We also will add in Minor Illusion's good to pull enemies out of, it creates a cat, which I think fits thematically here, but it pulls enemies together for a fireball. And then we get access to level 5 spells again here, which we could go with like a Hold Monster. That's never a bad choice to go with. Contagion can be kind of funny because you can apply Contagion on an enemy, make it weak to all damage types, and it won't even aggro into combat. We can also add in Wall of Fire, Confusion, or Haste, and we'll prepare those as such. Now, once we get to level 11, we get some really powerful spells. The wizard gets access to some really great ones, Chain Lightning and Oluk's Freezing Sphere. We also get Wall of Thorns, although this is just an okay one. It can entangle targets, which is kind of nice for the theming of this. But Chain Lightning, obviously, this is nature themed. And Odaluk's Freezing Sphere, it's a ball of pure raw. I live in the north, and it's cold here. I like this. It fits thematically for the nature theme as well. It sets up difficult terrain, so we can create an ice surface in one area, and then we can have spike growth in another. So we're the master of crowd control. You could also grab Wall of Thorns there, though, because it does fit also thematically. I want to prepare the following spells there. That's a pretty good list of spells. Now for our final level, I'm just going to keep this at level 12. You can take this all the way up to level 20. I guess I will for this build. So we'll take, I guess, Wall of Thorns here, and then Create or Destroy Water, which is great. We don't have the Quicken ability, but we'll go with an increase to our intelligence here to boost that up even further. You can stop right here at level 12, but we can also proceed to level 20. Havsglimt does include a lot of great content past level 10. We'll add in Insect Plague. It's not a bad spell for the crowd control. We'll add in Circle of Death as well, because you could use the dual wielder and use 2 staves. Use the Staff of Cherished Necromancy. That's often something I like doing. We now get the Shambling Mound, Animate Major Plant, which uses 2 plant charges. The Shambling Mound could devour enemies. It's really strong. You can also take Goodberry here. I like taking Wall of Ice now. They fixed it within patch 8. I guess Plant Growth is another good spell, or Web, 2 that you don't normally use, but Plant Growth's great because it doesn't require concentration. So I mentioned having a huge crowd control area. You can now put down more crowd control. So you can have Odaluk's Freezing Sphere, 1 Insect Plague somewheres. You can then have like Ice Storm putting down more cold damage. Every single turn you can drop down crowd control. Plant Growth's not my first choice, but it's nice. And I guess we'll want to have Misty Step prepared, and we can go ahead and add Create Water on our next level, because Create Water is a good spell that we want to have. We can't learn it from a scroll. Level 15, we get to take 2 more spells, I guess Longstrider, Sunburst, and then or Sunbeam, and then we'll go ahead here adding Create or Destroy Water. That's good because you can create ice surfaces, double your cold and lightning damage. It's a great spell to have. And if you have Haste or a Bloodlust Potion, you can apply that and set up. Create Undead, I guess, is a good one, and Haste. We'll also then get ourselves another feat. I'm going to take the Dual Wielder feat, which will give us additional, we can use 2 staves at a time. Marka Heshker and the Staff of Cherished Necromancy together actually work really well. You could also go with the tough feat to increase your overall health by 40, which gives you a lot of survivability with all of our summons as well. We'll then get to another choice in spells here. We're really running low on whatever. You can take your personal preference and favorite spells. I'll add in the Ice Storm and Insect Plague for spells. We have a very packed spell list there. It's kind of crazy. Level 18 gives us a couple more spells. We'll take Goodberry and Entangle just because they're native to the Druid spell list. Level 19, 2 more spells is the thing with the Wizard. They get lots of spells. Sleet Storm and I guess Odaluk's Resilient Sphere. Blade can actually be kind of nice too. And we'll take the Tough feat here or Warcaster to give advantage on Constitution saving throws. I like Tough, giving us 40 extra health. Wizards are kind of not tanky, so that's great to boost that further. And then level 20, doesn't really get anything special, only extra level spell slots. But yeah, you can take your preferred spells here, whatever. And the outfit of my character is the Woodland Elf outfit by Ren, available now on console too. Now for our real gear setup, I like to have 2 staves here, and especially the Staff of Cherished Necromancy is really great on this. But I got the Hat of Fire Cutie here. This is the best in slot. You can give yourself a +10 to your spell save DC by casting a Scorching Ray. We have 21 right now. We can take that up to 31. So that means that pretty much all our spells will guarantee land. Cloak of Protection, Deathstalker Mantle, your preference. We also got the Robe of the Weave here. You can go with it if you got the Helldusk Armor. That'd probably be the best choice because we're pretty not very tanky. You want to use a Scroll of Mage Armor if possible, because this will further boost up your overall survivability quite a bit by adding 3 to your armor class. That takes it to 21. Gloves of Belligerent Skies, Reverberation all around. Just a good condition we can apply on both of these sets of gear. You could also add in the boots of the Evasive Shoes there, or the Disintegrating Nightwalkers if you prefer, just to avoid ice surfaces. Now, I like to add Coruscation Ring here to apply Radiating Orbs, so we can debuff pretty much across the board with all of our gear. You could also add in something like the Snowburst Ring to create the ice pockets below the enemies. I also have the Ring of Protection here because we need every little bit of defense that we got because our armor class is quite low. Since we're not using a shield, and I'm using the Mark of Heshker here in our main hand, and Staff of Cherished Necromancy in the offhand because this gives disadvantage to saving throws on our Necromancy spells. We don't have many, but like Circle of Death, we can get free castings of Circle of Death, and this is where the synergy comes in because whenever we kill a hostile creature with a spell, we take its life essence, which lets us free cast Circle of Death. This is the only reason we're taking it. We also got lots of spell slots, not a huge deal, but this is for the level 12 builds. If you use that with the Coruscation Ring, you can apply Radiating Orbs on a huge area of effect, so it's a huge debuff. And also Chain Lightning for Mark of Heshker, the free cast. There's just a lot of really nice things. Hell Rider Longbow gives us the +3 to initiative, so we go first in combat. Now we also want to use, you can use a Staff of Spell Power here to get a little cheeky free casting. So you can use its Arcane Battery here to give yourself, if you wanted to summon in like your Elemental using this instead. So then you can go ahead here. I'd recommend actually, instead of using the Water Myrmidon, to just use the Water Elemental because its main punch will double cold damage. So it's actually a really good boost. And then you can swap back to your Mark of Heshker here. Always make sure that when you got Mark of Heshker, before you get into a fight, that you activate the Bolts of Doom. This will give you lightning charges, so you can further boost up your overall damage, but it also gives you a Chain Lightning, Lightning Bolt, and another free cast of your spells. So then we got boosts to pretty much any type of spell that we're going to cast, and we can do a bunch. We also want to summon in our major plants as well. So the Shambling Mound, it uses 2 of our plant charges there. We have Replenish per long rest, and then our Shambling Mound with 106 health. It can also devour an enemy if you have the digestive juices on it. And yeah, this is pretty crazy. The damage that it does, it's quite nice. I wouldn't say it's brokenly overpowered, but summons in Baldur's Gate 3 really turn the action economy in your favor. And we also want to have our Woodwode there. And you can then summon in your minor elementals if you want to bring in the ice methods, which are nice to have as well. And then heard you like summon, so your summon has a summon. So you can bring in her boyfriend, the Woodwode there. And then you got the whole gang out. A lot of summons. You can only have one Woodwode at a time, or you can only have one of your special summons at a time. So there's the secondary Woodwode. I just want to showcase this one here. He's got the Ensnaring Strike, Concussive Smash, and funny little thing is you can actually steal their club if you wanted to. So you can actually steal the club out of their inventory, give it to yourself. The Woodwode, or the normal Woodwode can actually do quite a bit of damage with it, and it gives you power-ups on certain attacks. If you use the Way of the Four Elements, one can actually boost your damage quite a bit while using that, but I'm bringing out the Shambling Mound to show off the build. Alright, so since we rolled a very high initiative, we got to go first, and that's why I like to use the Hellrider Longbow. Odaluk's Freezing Sphere, anytime you see a large group of enemies like this, do it. It gives us difficult terrain. It also is going to apply Radiating Orbs, so they're less likely to hit us with spells. The huge radius is really effective. We got a lot of enemies going against us, but you want to have that crowd control set up pretty early on. Now we got to eliminate some of these high value threats like this one here, which could completely shut us down. If we're able to cast Scorching Ray, that'll give us that arcane acuity that we want to be able to land things like Chain Lightning, which we're probably not super likely to be able to land. But we can also use the Consume Life Essence here, so this allows us to actually cast a free Circle of Death, which can do pretty monumental damage, especially if you're able to hit this in a good area of effect. And you can keep stealing this every turn, so we don't have to use our Chain Lightning. We have a 95% hit chance, and I want this target gone, so yeah, that was enough. 59, 59, and 46. Didn't take out this target, but it applied Radiating Orbs on them, so that's pretty good. Now we can actually do something silly here. We got a bonus action Misty Step, but we also got our offhand melee attack, which can do a decent bit of damage. So you go ahead there. I'm going to roll a crit on it. Crit was enough to take him out with Call of the Week. Perfect. Now our trusty Woodwoad is great because, as mentioned, they got the ability to hold that concentration on spike growth, and you can usually hit a few people with it. It's just nice because it's going to hold them in place. They'll move a lot slower. They take damage when they move through it, so a lot of benefits there. But you also got our Strengthened Shillelagh here, which the Woodland Being actually has quite a strong attack, but we want to keep her safe because she just got that crowd control that we want. Now, rolling 2 saves is kind of risky because that does lower our overall defensiveness, but you can see why we want to do it. Our Water Elemental actually has a few good choices. So it is this multi-attack, but I would usually recommend using the Slam because whenever you do this, it's going to chill the target. Now this target will take double cold damage for 2 turns, and this also has the ability to Mage Hand its way, or Elemental Warp its way away. I just walked there. We also got our Woodwoad here, which you can use to entangle targets, which is a pretty nice way to set up even further crowd control. So boom, you can create the entangled ground there, hold the concentration on it, and it can heal itself if it's on a surface. We also have the Shambling Mound here, so it can apply digestive juices, and if you're able to restrain a target, which we have like the grass there, this can be pretty effective. So we're going to go up against this target here, and the Devour, if you're able to use the, I guess we'll go with the digestive juices first here to spew that out. That may take them out. They saved on it, unfortunately. But then you can use the Devour to eat them. We can't do that, so we're just going to slam them, which is probably going to be enough, actually. Yeah, 15 took them out. So the Shambling Mound is actually pretty good. You're going to see there the benefit of spike growth, making them take an extra 5 damage. Just a little bit of chip damage, but it reduces their movement speed, and usually forces them to jump as well, which is kind of nice, because whenever they jump, that uses up their bonus action. One of the beautiful things, a Druid would have been in a bad position here because we don't have the ability to counterspell. But with this, you can stop the command from coming out because you're a wizard that has that Druid flavor to it. So this is actually a pretty strong subclass, and it's a lot of fun as well. So we got a lot of crowd control currently, but what we can do is we need to build up some arcane acuity. So we can use our upcasted Scorch and Raise here and pelt out, trying to take out as many targets as possible. That target's chilled there. Sometimes you can get lucky with Scorching Ray when there's targets that are actually like pretty damaged, because then you're able to just take them out that way. Boom, that was able to remove 2 of them. We have Lightning Charge. Oh, it took out 3 of them because the Lightning Charges added up quite a bit there. So perfect. We now got our +10, so our spell save DC is now 31 with that +10 from Arcane Acuity. That's great because we also have Lightning Charges built up. And then we can go ahead with probably a guaranteed land on a crowd control spell if we wanted to use like a hold person, because we can upcast that even further and basically lay down the entire battlefield here. I also just like a Chain Lightning Wall of Ice type deal. But we also got the Life Essence for our Circle of Death, which I'll use. Even though it's going to hit a lot of our targets there, that's fine because it's going to apply Reverberation. And it ended up taking out a couple enemies as well. The Life Essence Harvest is a really good ability that we got from the staff there, so we want to take advantage of that. There's nobody close for me to bonk with my staff, unfortunately. Now, the crazy thing is our Woodland Being can sometimes hit upwards of 35. If it lands, it's hit 16. That's not bad. And goodbye, turn into a pile of leaves. And sometimes with a target, you don't want to do the slam. We want to use the multi-attack. If we have a higher chance of actually taking them out, and if we didn't get the critical miss there, they have 1 health left. That is so unfortunate. Because with that, you're able to actually utilize your summons to reduce your foes. This turns the action economy in your favor. Another critical miss is lovely. All right, can't be 3 critical misses in a row. There we go. Nice, finally. So the summons actually pull their weight a little bit. And back to our turn, what we want to do is use cold damage spells if you can. We have that bonus to Arcane Acuity, so this will just end it all. You can do a Create Water into that. Oh, there's one last, right, the target that's over here that didn't get hit by its Chain Lightning. Unfortunate, but we always can just follow up with another Chain Lightning or many of our other damaging spells. Chain Lightning is obviously high damage, so boom, there it is. The Hedge Mage Wizard mod made by Havsglimt there, so you can check that out. Download it in the mod manager, now available on console. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hope you have a great day, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.